everybody. Welcome to Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Blind Spot Project. And this is the show where we like to talk about movies that are classics or that are cult classics or whatever it might be that we haven't seen that we want to talk about. And it's a lot of fun. And I am film critic Rachel Wagner and Manda's here.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good to be back. I feel like it's been
Yeah.
a longer time this time around, but I'm
Yes.
excited.
Our apologies because of Tiff. I knew that was going to just mess everything
Yeah.
up, even though we got to see each other, which was so exciting.
Oh, it was so fun. That was like one of my favorite moments this
Yeah.
festival. I was so happy.
It was
Like
really, really
honestly.
fun to see. I mean, that was my favorite part of the
Yeah.
festival was and my whole life I will always remember that taco place and laugh my head off when they brought the one tiny taco, because like in America, if you order one taco, it's like kind of you have the it's just everybody assumes that it'll come with like at least some chips, not with like
Yeah.
rice and beans usually or something. Like it's a meal. If you order a taco, it's a meal, right?
So
This thing
normally,
was like
normally,
this
I know
big.
I was
I'm
upset
like,
too because
I'm
everyone raves about that place. We will not disclose the name of this restaurant, but like everyone raves about this place. And I was like, okay, cool. So normally they would give you three tacos. Like at other places, there's always three
yeah.
tacos. They'll
Okay.
give you like beans and salsa and guac and all of that. So I
I
had no idea. It was just like one
I
taco.
about did a spit take when he comes and
Like,
they
come
didn't
on.
even put it on a small plate. It was like one taco on the
Yeah, and it's like one thing. I'm like, hey, what are we doing here? I was very disappointed
it was
because I,
so funny.
I think it's because like I suggested it, so I was like, oh crap, like I didn't want that for us. But
Nobody could ever do
we
that.
had a good night. That's all that
It was
matters. Like,
so funny. I was laughing.
yeah,
But I
so
mean,
good.
it was fun. It was a fun time, but it just made me laugh. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it
But
was
yeah, we had
just
a
hilarious.
great time at TIFF. I did you have what was your I guess Hamnet, was that your favorite?
Hamnet just destroyed my soul. I was weeping with that one.
Yeah.
I think a surprise for me was Poetic License. Like shout out to like Maude
Oh.
Apatow's directorial debut. I thought that was like amazing for her.
Hmm.
Um, I what else did I like? Why
And
I blank now. After
and
28 films, I'm like
you saw my beloved Nirvana the band, the show, the
I
movie.
did, and that was so, so good. As a Torontonian, like it hits. Like it's perfect.
Like
I was really happy about that.
I had seen it at South by Southwest. I'm like, do I really want to use up a space to see it again? And I was like, I got you. It's all filmed
And
in
you're like,
Toronto. They're gonna be there.
yes, yes,
It was
exactly.
oh, it
You
was
have
so
to.
good. It was so good. I loved it
It
so
was a
much.
good time. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
really good time. So,
like if I'm just talking favorites,
mm.
I mean, I even just best, it still might be my top pick if I'm really honest with myself. I
Oh
love
no,
it.
it's
I
like
just think
totally
it's so like
entertaining. I
what
would
they
do
do
it.
is so crazy. You're just like, oh, what? And
It's just, it's so simple too. I know they pull from different like
especially
references, but it's like,
especially that beginning. I mean, I just could not believe this.
it's
And
too good.
but now I see I really worry. One of the things that worries me about being a critic is I worry about hype because it's a problem because people
Yeah.
hype stuff up so much that you're just like, and then people see it and they're like, what? Um,
Yeah.
and I worry about that, but I really did love it. But I don't think it's like perfect. I don't think it's like flawless. It has, but I just
It
did
does its
enjoy it,
job.
you
Like it's
know?
fun, so it did its job. It made me laugh. That's all that
Because
matters. It's obscure too, so
yeah, because I mean, luckily I'm not that as affected by hype because usually I've seen the movie early as a critic, like usually at
yeah.
least a couple days early, and but it's hard at festivals because the hype can be like, whoa, you know,
Oh,
and
it's the worst of festivals.
yeah, it really is,
It
and they
is.
call it at Sundance they call it the high altitude.
That's
Was
cute.
it a really good movie or was it a high altitude?
Yeah. I mean,
I
that
mean,
tracks
it's
the
where I live
film.
all the time, so it doesn't feel like high altitude. But
Yeah.
the concept is true.
Yeah. I mean, we have like our rose-colored glasses on, I think,
Yeah.
during festival season, so it's really hard to kind of
Yeah.
navigate it sometimes. I know that
Yeah.
like for me, everyone was obsessed with Wake Up Dead Man, and then when I watched it, I
Oh.
was like, it
Yeah, I
was
mean, you had a pretty weak festival, it seemed like especially towards the end, which my ending, my last 2 days were a lot weaker too. So
it
I
happens
felt
all
it
the
too,
time.
but yeah, I mean, we agreed about Smashing Machine being weak. We agreed about
Yeah.
there were some other ones. I mean, I'm not that big a fan of the Knives Out movies to begin with, so
See, like I love the first one, and then there's like a decline in quality, especially with this
yeah,
third one. And I don't think they utilized the supporting cast as well as they did in previous films. And I think that's a major drawback
yeah,
here. So I'm excited to see
yeah.
what people think of it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
Glass Onion I really was not. It was not for me. I did
See,
not like it.
I watched it at the premiere at TIFF, and I
Uh-huh.
think that's why I gave it the rating I gave it. Like I was so high up on it, and because it was the premiere 100%. And
Yeah,
then I
you have to be
watched it
careful about
again
that too.
because it's true. And I'm fully like transparent about it. Because then I watched it again. I was like, oh, this is very
Yeah.
slow. This is much slower than like when I was watching it for the first time. So it
Yeah.
doesn't hold up.
Well, yeah, I mean, and our friends that are in Los Angeles, especially, they have to be
Mm,
really careful about that because they go to a lot of premieres and it's just human nature. When you're
yeah.
treated nicely, you feel good. Like that's just human nature.
Yeah.
And so you have to actively say, I'm going, not that you want to dislike it, but you have to fight against like that's the reason they do that. That's the reason why they
Hmm.
uh they they try to wine and dine the critics because it's adding, it's just human nature. Like if somebody's
It's
nice to you,
true.
you want to be nice back. And so
Absolutely.
it's hard. And
Yeah.
so I'm glad sometimes that I have that. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Los Angeles, period, but I'm glad I have the space sometimes. I think it helps with being a little more objective.
For sure, it does help. You have to step away from it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a fan of Rachel's reviews? Do you look forward to Family Movie Night, Female Film Critics panels, or the Talking Disney podcast? If so, please consider supporting the podcast by becoming a Patreon. As a patron, you get to access monthly events such as the watch-alongs and Q&As, where you get to talk to stars and find out the behind the scenes of the movie making industry. And you can pick what I review for Family Movie Night or even become a guest on the podcast. Podcasts and YouTube channels are expensive, and I really, really could use your help. I would so appreciate it. You also get to be a member of the Facebook group where we talk about all the films that we're seeing, and we have so much fun. Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies and select one of the Rachel's fan tiers. That's patreon.com/hallmarkies.
Well, not only can you get huge hype on new movies, you're going to have huge hype on classics. And so this is my
True.
transition. Do you like that transition? That was
What a
really good.
beautiful segue. That was
Segue.
fantastic. I love
Yes.
it.
So this for September, our blind spot was the 1939 classic Wuthering Heights. And
Perfect timing.
so yeah, and if I had really thought about it, I don't know if I didn't know when the Emerald Fennell. I think maybe I even thought it was coming out this fall, and that's why I was thinking about it, or
Yeah,
whenever. We probably should have waited to do this in February when when the new movie's coming out,
it's
but
okay.
nevertheless, it's close enough that it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So Wuthering Heights. I mean, 1939 is wildly considered to be the greatest year in film ever. I mean, you've got
Hmm.
such incredible movies like The Wizard of Oz and
Yeah.
Stagecoach and this Wuthering Heights and so it's a strong film and a strong year as far as the filmmaking
Oh
that's
yeah.
happening here. And it's of course based on the classic Emily Bronte novel. And have, it, what's your familiarity with the novel?
So, I read it when I was like 10 years old. A, A 10-year-old should not be reading such a dense literary piece
Did,
from Emily Bronte. Like
yeah,
it
you're
just
like Matilda, you know, you're like reading like,
So realistically, I just don't remember the book that well, but
uh-huh.
like I know the characters, I know their relationship, so that's just
Yeah.
my basis of it. And I know that everyone just loves Wuthering Heights. They've read that book over and over again.
Yeah.
And I always said like, oh, I because I can't read a book twice. I'm not
Oh,
I can
really?
It's very weird because I can watch a
You
movie
do your
500 times
favorites?
over. Yeah, I've tried to do it, but it's like I can't, maybe because I don't read as fast as I would like to, because
Mm-hmm.
I take my time with
Yeah.
it. So it's just I think that if I were to read something that I already read, I've never tried it, but it's like I don't know if I'd be able to. But that's the one book where I'm jealous of people who get to like read it every October, like read it every
Yeah.
like annually. People read it at Christmas. Like it would just be something that I would want to try eventually.
Yeah. See, I listen with a lot of my reading
Mm,
because I am just so busy.
yeah,
And I do think that helps with the rereading.
that
Is
is true,
you know, because there's
actually.
like different narrators and different, you know, it just makes it feel a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I first read Wuthering Heights when I was in high school. I don't think it was actually for school, pretty
Oh, so
sure.
you just read it like it
I
wasn't on
just
a
read
reading
it.
list.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
love Jane Eyre. I've always loved Jane Eyre, and
that's
that's
fair.
written by her sister, by Charlotte Bronte.
Mm,
And I do think that Jane Eyre is the far superior novel in my,
interesting.
still to this day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think that they're way more like interesting and compelling characters, and
Mm,
I just find Heathcliff and Catherine to be both so unlikable that it's hard for me
that's
to
how I
be that
felt.
invested in their story, that like
Yeah.
these jerks,
Mm,
you know. And I know that's what people like about it, is that like the passion and the unfulfilled, like, you know, like kind of a thing. I prefer the like Jane Eyre is pretty bleak, you know, at times,
mm,
especially at the beginning with the orphanage and how she's treated at Lowood School and all of that.
yeah.
And Helen dying, and I mean it can be quite bleak, but it has more hope and more chemistry between them, and I'm just rooting for them more, both as
Mm.
characters. And whereas these, especially the way they treat the other loves, are so gross that you're just
That's
like,
the thing.
I hate
Yeah.
these people.
It's like that you want like you know that their romance is like
Yeah,
it's just so different. But that then the way that they treat their significant others is like, did we have to do this with them? Like
yeah.
it makes them unlikable and it's hard to root for them to even want to be together as like these lovers that are like, they're destined to be together, but there's obstacles along the way. So it's very hard. And I didn't like that. I just
Yeah.
didn't
I
vibe
mean,
with it.
excuse me. I think that this version, they do kind of lean into the gothic sort of themes of it, and turn Heathcliff into it's almost a horror movie. It
Kind of,
with
yeah.
kind of what happened. Well, and yeah, it actually, I don't even, I would say almost. I think you could classify this as a horror movie with the
Yeah.
spirits on the moor, and the, you know, and some of the supernatural elements that come into play.
Mhm.
And just his, maybe you might say this is a psychological horror. It's going to be
Yeah.
very interesting to see how Emerald Fennell does with it. And I know that there are going to be a lot of people who complain, and I'm not saying it'll be a good movie, it might suck, but there
Yeah.
will be for sure a lot of people who complain that it's not accurate to the book. You can tell that from the trailer. That it is going to be. But my argument about that is that this is a story that has been done in movies a lot. I'm not sure exactly how many
Mm,
times, but there's been a lot of versions of Wuthering Heights.
yeah.
So, like, your standard version, your accurate version, has been done again and again and again. It's been done
Yeah.
here with this one that's pretty close to the book.
Mhm.
and so I mean, the biggest difference is it doesn't have the second half of the book about their kids in this one, but
Mm.
for a lot of it is pretty accurate. But um, I don't know. I just feel like you have to do something different in this time. So sex it up, like that's different. So I'm open to it. What do you feel?
I agree with that. I think that like Emerald Fennell's for a very particular crowd of people. I don't necessarily get the hatred. I can understand the dislike of the way she writes or like her films. Like I understand if you just straight up don't like it, that's different, but at least she's trying something outside of the box, which I can kind of commend no matter like how obscure or uncomfortable it can be. I know a lot of people didn't vibe with Saltburn.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't see that one. I skipped it.
which is fair because I don't know how high you'd be on that one, Rachel. I'm gonna be honest.
Well,
Um,
I might not have the ability this year because of doing if I do the movie show, but
mm,
I usually I give myself a couple passes on
yeah.
the prestige films that I'm you know what, I don't have to see that one. Um and that was one that year, and I gave myself a pass on oh, it was a foreign film, The Triangle of Sadness. I gave myself a pass on that one too. Uh
Yeah, those are very much like my type of vibe. Even like Triangle
no.
Sadness, Saltburn, like I love
Isn't
those
there a
movies
lot of throw up in Triangle Sadness?
so much. There's a whole
See,
second act that's just like, and I'm like, oh God.
I have a very very short gag reflex. Like
Yeah, you can't
I
watch it.
sympathetic vomiting is a problem for me. So
Can't watch it.
I love Pitch Perfect. The only thing I don't love is the throw
Yes.
up. I
Which is fair. I get it. This like Triangle Sadness has a whole like ship scene. That's all you need to know. Like,
I mean, we talked about this when we did that Monty Python movie, remember?
yes. Oh
With
my
the
God.
throw up. Like, oh.
I could
Anyway,
not.
so that's why I gave myself a pass on Triangle
It's
Sadness.
fine. It's fine. It's
Uh,
it's it's a particular like an acquired taste.
yeah.
Pardon the pun there for the
Yes.
vomit, but
So anyway, I can't remember why were we talking about throw up? I can't remember. But
Emerald
Emerald Fennell,
Fennel.
Emerald Fennell.
Yeah,
So I
Emerald
didn't see
Fennel.
Saltburn, but Promising Young Woman I actually really liked.
Loved
And
it.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
understand. I guess I understand because it made a lot of bold choices. So I can understand why it wouldn't be for everybody. I get that,
Hmm.
but I really liked it. I thought it was very interesting
Yeah.
and
I just yeah.
a good movie for discussion. So
Hmm.
I'm intrigued to see what she does with
I
it.
am
It'll be
too.
interesting. It was a very steamy trailer. This was very
They
fun.
have two very hot people in
Yes,
these roles.
we'll see if
Like,
they have chemistry together.
let's hope so. Because
We'll
it's just
see.
that would be even worse if you're throwing all this at them and it's steamy only in the trailer, only for it to not
Yeah,
be. But you know what? I can commend big swings. She's not
yeah,
trying to make it like Wuthering Heights. I think she's just loosely basing it off of the characters and like it can be like a very like not a
yeah.
fantasy type of situation, but
It's
you
gonna
know.
go one of two ways. It's either gonna be really fun, really dishy, or it's gonna be,
Hmm.
I don't know if you've ever heard there's a version of the Scarlet Letter with Demi Moore that is
Yes.
one of the all-time bad adaptations of a literary classic. It is, and they really
I
try to
heard
sex it
it.
up, and it's painful,
I
terrible.
heard
Another
that.
terrible movie that Gary Oldman's in. Gary Oldman is in so many bad movies.
He's not that great.
He gets a huge no, he gets a huge pass because he was in those Nolan movies.
Yeah.
And like the list, he was in that terrible Red Riding Hood movie. He is in so many clunkers, and it's amazing how
They
if you were in the Dark Knight trilogy, you get such a
you
pass
do.
from
They
your
also excuse him because he's Sirius Black, so we
yeah,
can't do that
yeah.
either, right? That's why Gary Oldman made a career for himself, just being
Yeah.
excused constantly.
But nevertheless, I think that Wuthering Heights is going to go one or the other way. It's either going to be like Scarlet Letter and be like
Oh God.
terrible, or it's going to be fun. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's Hers. Weight loss medications are everywhere right now. Everyone's talking about them. Everyone's on them. But let's be real. Have you seen the price tag? It's hard to believe they're actually accessible. That's where Hers comes in. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans. They connect you with a medical provider who will work with you to determine the best treatment option for you. If prescribed, you get medication as part of a doctor-developed weight loss program, complete with ongoing care, check-ins, dosage, and medication adjustments, and 24/7 online support at no additional cost, no hidden fees, and no membership fees. Weight loss by Hers is realistic, not restrictive, and affordable. Hers provides access to both oral medication kits and GLP-1 injectable options, with oral medication kits starting at just $69 per month with a 10-month plan when paid upfront. Plus, your personalized treatment ships for free directly to your door. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time for you to find the best option that works for you through Hers. Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/hallmarkies. That's forhers.com/hallmarkies. forher.com/hallmarkies. But anyway, so this version in 1939, you've got Merle Oberon and Laurence Olivier. This is directed by William Wyler. And I do think that the strongest aspect of this film is the directing is very strong, very beautiful, great music. And it's interesting because I guess these two actors evidently did not get along at all. They did not like each other. And you feel that, and it works for these characters. You need that.
You do.
And
there's like an underlying resentment for whatever reason.
So I read, so Oberon's scolding Olivia for accidentally spitting on her during a particularly romantic balcony scene. Oberon shouted to Wyler, "Tell him to stop spitting at me." Olivia retorted by shouting, "What's a little spit, for Christ's sake, between actors, you bloody little idiot. How dare you speak to me?" Oberon ran crying from the set after the outburst, and Wyler insisted Olivia apologize to her.
It sounds like this movie should not have been made, like, whatsoever.
I guess originally that he wanted his wife, or I guess it was fiance at the time, but Vivian Leigh was married to Laurence Olivier, and I guess they wanted her to play the part. And she would have been incredible. She's a super good actress, but that was it all worked out because she ended up being in Gone with the Wind. That was the other in 1939. And that, obviously was an iconic performance, Scarlett. So it all worked out, but I just thought that was really interesting. You can feel that, and it works for these characters. You need them to be,
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it starts out with them in the future. You have Heathcliff, that Lockwood hears the woman calling on the moors. "Heathcliff, let me in. I'm lost in the moors. It's Kathy." And so that's where it starts. And then we hear the story. And it starts out, the reason why they develop this toxic relationship with each other is because he's brought in as a child, and Hindley, the brother, is horrible to Heathcliff, and Kathy is kind to him as a child. And so they become very dependent on each other. And then they end up falling in love as teenagers, basically.
I love the beginning from childhood. I think that's really effective because you rarely see where it stems from. If it's like a friends to lovers type of situation, like from the beginning, they always usually catch up like when they're in college or anything like that. So even as a kid, like I really appreciated them adding that to their story.
So they're looking in on basically on the neighbors, and they end up, Kathy gets attacked by this dog. And they get really upset, and Heathcliff runs away and says, "I'll bring this house down. That's my curse on all of you." So he's upset. And so then we have Kathy and Edgar. Kathy hates Edgar, but I mean, you really do. You feel this. You feel bad
Yeah,
for both Isabella and Edgar
you do.
because they get the short end of all of this.
Yeah,
Um, and then she says, "Forgive me, Heathcliff. Make the world stop right here. This is me forever." And then it says, "Thief or servant is all you are meant to be. All I am is just these dirty hands." So it's quite dramatic.
it's so dramatic. I think
Ugh.
that's why I didn't really like
So
it.
so she tells Edgar, she says that uh that she says that that I wish he would never. I wish she's saying I wish that Heathcliff had never come back. But then he doesn't hear Heathcliff hears this, but doesn't hear the second part saying that that she says, "Oh, I meant to be with Heathcliff," but he doesn't hear that part. And she races after him in the rain. She tries to find him. He
Mm,
leaves, and then Edgar proposes, and they get married because she thinks he's gone,
yeah,
left. And Heathcliff comes back from America, and he's got inheritance. He's of noble birth. We
yeah,
find out, and the big comeuppance that he does, the big revenge, is that he buys the estate, and he basically can laugh at Hindley,
yeah.
and uh, and uh, and and I love that. This is when they said there's no laughter in hell.
I died. I
That was
was
a
like,
good line.
okay.
Uh,
That was such a good line.
you are a coward then, and you're a coward now. I'm the master here now.
Your delivery is great, Rachel.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
just so good.
I love the classic melodrama. I'm actually a big
Yeah.
fan of melodrama.
I think if there
And
were likable characters, I'd appreciate the
yeah,
melodrama because this was just not it for me.
well, that's why I
Yeah.
think that Jane Eyre is so much better, is because you're rooting for
Yeah.
Jane, you're rooting for Rochester, even though he lies. It's understandable because he was manipulated into
Mm.
this marriage. He's miserable. He wants to kill himself. He's so unhappy. And so
Yeah.
he allows himself to have this like temptation of Jane. And I think he even dilutes himself that maybe she will agree to basically be his mistress if she does find out,
Yeah.
and or that somehow it'll all work out and he can keep it all a secret. And I don't know, so he's just they're both of them are way more likable than both of these.
Mhm.
But I do like the melodrama of it. I like the uh and I mean, it gets even worse in the book because the book you have their children, which are then
Yeah.
manipulated, and they try to give kind of a happy ending with the children, but it
Mm.
doesn't. I don't know, it doesn't really work for me. But it's a nice point of revenge, and that really is a great line. There's no laughter in hell.
That's perfect.
Great line. I hope that Amber Fennell uses that line.
I think of all the lines, she's going to use that one.
Yeah, I hope
Like
so. I hope so.
100%.
And then we have Heathcliff starts courting Isabella, the sister of Edgar, and he does it only to spite Kathy.
Naturally.
And he's that we have her saying, if he loved you with all the part of his soul for a whole lifetime, he couldn't love you as much as I do in a single day.
That's a beautiful line.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful.
And he says, I this is a good line too, when he says, "You willed me here across the sea from America, you willed me here across the sea." And Kathy
I
tries
love
to
that.
warm Isabella, and then Heathcliff, "I'm going to punish you every time I take you in my arms, when I kiss her, when I promise her life and happiness. I'd be your slave, but no, you must destroy all we call virtue." If
Damn,
you
you go.
ever if you ever looked at me once with what I know is in you, I'd be your slave, Kathy. If your heart were only stronger than your dull fear of God and the world, I'd live contented silently in your shadow. But no, you must destroy us both with that weakness you call virtue.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And I'm telling you, the fact that these two actors hated each other helps.
It does. You
It really
feel
does.
it. You just feel the fire between them. It's like, oh my God. Of
Yeah. And so then Isabel, of course, is miserable. This is a horrible life for her.
course. She doesn't want it. No way.
And she says, if Kathy died, I might live because there wouldn't be that comparison.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and then Kathy is ill and dying, and she goes to the moors. I was dreaming you might come before I, or she dreams of the moor. I was dreaming you might come before I died. Uh, he was my life being. Let me look at the moors with you one last time. I'll wait for you till you come on the moors. And then people come in. Leave her alone. She's mine. Haunt me. Haunt your murderer. I cannot live without my life. I cannot die without my soul.
Damn.
It's a good line.
It's just such a good line.
Yeah.
So many of them. Like, it's hard.
You can see why the book is beloved. It does have a lot of
Yeah.
great lines.
The writing's amazing. It's just, it
Yeah.
depends on like if you like the characters or not.
Yeah. Kathy's love is stronger than time itself.
Mm.
And the doctor coming in sees them both on the moors. He's with her. And you see them at the end. And I guess they were forced to add this in, that William Wyler didn't want to add this in, but you see them walking hand in hand on the moors. This is not in the book. This was insisted by Samuel Goldwyn, who was the head of the studio, to give like a little bit more of a what am I saying? More hopeful ending.
Yeah.
And
sense.
I'm with Samuel on this.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
You didn't have to do that. Like, it's the subtlety of the supernatural elements, and then to actually have their ghosts there, like, it just is a bit much.
Yeah.
I do get that.
Here's interesting. So David Niven, who plays Edgar, he says that he remembers the filming of Merle Oberon's deathbed scenes as less than romantic. After telling Wyler he did not know how to sob, he had been given a menthol mist substance to help it appear as if he were crying, which instead had the effect of making green goo come out of his nose. Oberon immediately exited the bed after witnessing it.
But like everything went wrong on this production.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a cursed production if you really look.
Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
Shows that
Crazy.
like you have to judge the film, and it's and how you can't, the backstory, the behind the scenes is interesting and fun, but you have to judge the film. And he says here that director Wyler hated the idea of the afterlife scene and didn't want to do it, but producer Samuel Goldwyn vetoed him, and the scene was added after primary filming was complete. As Laurence Olivier and Merle Oberon had moved on to other projects, doubles had to be used. Goldwyn subsequently claimed, "I made Wuthering Heights. Wyler only directed it."
The audacity, though. Like,
but I'm with him though. I'm with him on it. I think that's
I
the
agree.
right call. That was the right call.
I
And
agree.
and yeah, so this movie, let's see here. So Olivier also found himself becoming increasingly annoyed with William Wyler's exhausting and often uncommunicative style of filmmaking. One scene with Olivier was shot 72 times, and you think this was on actual film? 72 times for one scene?
That, David Fincher has nothing on this
Yeah.
guy, like at all, if that's the way it's
You
gonna
can
go.
imagine that how many times. Did you see the Nouvelle Vague at TIFF?
I did not,
Uh,
and I really wish I went to go see that instead of what I
like,
watched.
oh, see, it was charming, and even though I haven't seen Breathless, and I want, of course, want to see
It's
Breathless,
so
but
good.
but I mean, this is making Godard seem like he was easygoing and easy to work with compared to this 72 times. Oh my
That's
gosh.
insane. 72 times.
Wow. With each new take called for by Wyler without any actual direction for his actor, just again. Finally, an exasperated Olivier is said to have exclaimed, "For God's sake, I did it sitting down. I did it with a smile. I did it with a smirk. I did it scratching my ear. I did it with my back to the camera. How do you want me to do it?" Wyler's retort was, "I want it better." However, in both his autobiography and his book on acting, Olivier credits William Wyler with teaching him how to act in films as opposed to on the stage and for
Mm,
giving him a new respect for films. Olivier
big
had
difference.
tended to ham it up as if he were playing the scene to the second balcony, but Wyler showed him how to act more subtly, in part by simply wearing him down.
That's actually really smart.
Isn't that
That's
interesting?
very smart because I know Olivia, he's larger than life. Like
Yeah.
especially like stage actor, like taking on
Yeah.
Shakespeare, you have to really just present. So
Yeah.
I think that's hard to like switch from stage in that way to film. But it's actually really smart that Weiler, that was a tactic that
Well,
he
and
used for
it would
Olivier.
be it would be so hard too because when you're a stage actor, you're used to telling the whole story,
Yeah.
and so like maybe if you don't have as strong of a moment, then like the next line you can fix it, or you can bounce off what another person has said,
Hmm.
or it's an ongoing organism you're feeding every single night that you're
Yeah.
doing it. And so like you're saying, that he was hamming it up to the second balcony.
That's so
And but
funny.
but still, I mean, can you imagine 72 times for one scene? Wow.
Could not pay me enough to do that over and over again.
Yeah.
Just kidding, David Fisher. I would definitely be in a film.
uh, it's really funny because there's this famous story about Marathon Man, that Olivier was in with Dustin Hoffman. And I guess there is a scene in Marathon Man where the character literally runs through the night. And so, like Dustin Hoffman trying to be all like acting, method acting and everything, he like literally did that. So he shows up to set. He's been like running all night. He's sweaty, everything like that. And the story goes that Laurence Olivier looked at him and just said, "Just act, man." Act, man.
That's so funny.
um, and so that's interesting if you look at it in what he's saying here about William Wyler, because Marathon Man was 76, so that went way after. So it's
Mm.
kind of interesting to see his evolution as an actor of film
Oh, for
over
sure.
over the years.
I love seeing that change from
Yeah.
stage to film. I love seeing that. That's just he's a very interesting character,
So
Olivier.
from 39 to 76, quite the transformation in his acting
Yeah.
philosophies.
Yeah. Especially if you wrote a book too. That's what, oh my God, what a
Yeah.
gem.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I like, another good line is, "I'll have my gold or I'll have your blood, and hell can have your soul."
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a good line too.
That's
Yeah, it's a
such a
good
good line.
line. And then we have, the like I said, we have that happy ending. Or that more hopeful ending. And yeah, this movie, it was nominated for 8 Oscars. and it won one of those because it was such a crazy year, such a strong year. The one that it won was, they used to have a separate Oscar for black and white cinematography and color cinematography. And so it won for the black and white, which totally deserved. Greg
I
Toland,
mean, I was just
absolutely
about to say that.
beautiful. The
He's
cinematography,
incredible.
is really, really, really good. I love the score as well. You know, if it wasn't up against if it wasn't up against Gone with the Wind, then which is so iconic. Yeah, in this year, so there used to be scoring and there used to be original score. I wonder what the difference was between that. So there were actually, holy cow, in between the two categories, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Some of them were nominated for both scoring and original score. So I guess that must have been like orchestration.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that must have been for like orchestration, like at Broadway. They do that for the Tonys. They have orchestration. And so yeah, for original score, they had 10, 11, 12 nominees.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
In comparison, what do we have now?
Yeah. But just some of the other competition that year, as far as the Oscars, Gone with the Wind, you had Of Mice and Men, Wuthering Heights, Dark Victory, The Wizard of Oz, Gulliver's Travels. It was a really big year. You had Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Babes in Arms.
Wow.
It was just a very, very, very big year. So, but I love the score for this. It's beautiful. I think it's great.
It's
score.
so nice. Yeah. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So this is where I struggle sometimes as a critic, because I think this is a great version of this story, and it's the same. It's actually the same conflict that I have with Dune. I know that sounds weird comparison, but I just don't like Dune as a story. I think it's incredibly boring and it's just not for me. I just don't like the story. So like, but that's not fair. That's not fair for me to if I know intellectually that this is a good version of that story and thousands of millions of people love that story, just the fact I don't like the story and I think it's well done, I can't give it a negative root, even though I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I like this way more than Dune, but I'm just saying, like, it can be a challenge as a critic. Like, what do you do with that when you just, the source material you just don't love, but like you can acknowledge that it's well done?
I think it's just on terms of like, you know what, technically this movie's great or technically this book is great, like objectively, but then there can be things that are just not your cup of tea.
I
And
guess
that's totally fine, I think,
but
in my eyes.
it just feels disingenuous to give something a fresh or to recommend it when I
Yeah.
don't really actually like it. But it feels wrong to give it rotten when I know it's well done. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a struggle I have as a critic sometimes.
I agree.
You know
Because
what I'm
there's always
saying?
that like in between. So you're just questioning like how you're supposed to feel about it versus how you actually feel about it in regards to criticism, because the people around you are very critical of like what your opinion's going to be on this
Well, I mean, and
because
just
of
like
source
I know
material.
that it's well done. I know
Yeah.
that lots of people love it. And so I don't know. It's just a weird situation, but that's why I didn't load my score of Dune onto Dune 2, at least onto Rotten Tomatoes, not onto Rotten Tomatoes, because I just don't think
Mm.
it's fair. I think it's fundamentally not fair. But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't love this story. But I think this is well done.
It's
This
well
is well
done. I
made.
just, yeah, I wish I liked the characters more in order for
Yeah.
me to vibe with it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if there was like just a little bit of humanity, I mean, that's why I think the ending actually does work. I like the ending,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know?
You are right
So
about that. Yeah.
I do. I'm with Samuel there. Samuel Goldwyn. He knew what he was talking about. So anyway, it's a movie from 1939. So it doesn't matter if I go fresh or rotten on it. But it'll be interesting to see how it compares. And we'll have to do a special or whatever when the new movie comes
Yeah.
out. So
Okay. A nice comparison.
mhm. So let
Yeah.
us know what you think of this movie. Love to hear your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll write up my little post about it and post a link to that. You'll want to read that, and it's going to be interesting. So next month we are going to be talking about Poltergeist. This is the classic from 1982. We're going to be
Mhm.
talking about it, so that's going to be super fun. And Manda, where can people find you?
You guys can always follow me over at AMXND Reviews on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can check out my website, candidxcinema.com, and my Instagram, Amanda Guarachi.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following me all over at Hallmarkies Podcast. I really appreciate that. Check out our playlist with all of our Blind Spot episodes. We've been doing that for 2 years, which is amazing. So,
Honestly, I can't believe
look
it's
at that.
like almost October. Like that we
It's
have
wild.
to.
Wild.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out and check out the Patreon group. That's the biggest way you can support everything that we're doing. If you are listening on iTunes, leave your ratings and reviews. That really helps a lot. And check out the merch store. We got lots of fun fall and holiday inspired designs. Check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.